to ye old Chapbooks.
Yes, the place where bookworms chat about books.
An interesting fact for those of you that may not know, Chapbooks were cheap, inexpensive, pocket-sized books meant to entertain the masses.
Mm-hmm. Very true, very true. That is what we are, basically. We're cheap, we're, like you said, inexpensive, and we're here to discuss books and hopefully be entertaining.
Because after all, life is rough, so
Read
a book. Each month we're gonna have a theme. As long as we move on from this month, we'll have a theme each month. This month was coming of age, and we chose 2 books to read. The first book was The Dangerous Lives of Altar Boys by Chris Furman, and the second book was The Perks of Being a Wallflower by Stephen Chbosky.
So, The Dangerous Lives of Altar Boys. It's set in Savannah, Georgia in the 1970s. The main character is Francis and his best friend Tim. It also features Sister Assumpta, which is a bitchy one-legged nun. And Margie Flynn, Francis's dream girl.
The problem is, Francis is forced to go to a Catholic school and to believe into a religion he doesn't necessarily believe in. And he doesn't really believe in its interpretation with God either. So Francis is in a position to figure out, okay, if he doesn't believe in this God he's told to believe into, what does he believe in? And as a result, he puts Tim Sullivan, his best friend, in this godlike position.
On a pedestal.
Yes.
The only problem with this way of thinking is that Tim is an absolute fucking delinquent, and he encourages Francis and their other friends to put their artistic talents into play and create a comic book called Sodom vs. Gomorrah, in which they depict Sister Assumpta and Father Casey, the principal father of the school. They're doing everything from flogging each other to
Really anything you don't
any
think
matter
of
of sin you can think of. In addition to that, Tim gets them to drink.
Oh, I need to go see Margie.
Do drugs.
Oh, that's good.
Steal, vandalize, and he encourages Francis to pursue a relationship with Margie.
But as Francis gets to know Margie, she turns out not to be the Virgin Margie. Oh, not me. He thinks she is. Her spooky deep secrets include everything from suicide attempts to sexual abuse. Francis begins to accept that no person is perfect without sin.
You know, I think through all these experiences, Tim eventually comes to the conclusion that religion cannot be taught. It has to be experienced.
The Perks of Being a Wallflower takes place in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania in the early 1990s. The main characters are Charlie. He's a 9th grader and he's really our protagonist. And Patrick and Sam, who are their step-siblings. And they're both in the 12th grade. And finally Bill, who is Charlie's English teacher.
Well, the story is told through the point of view of Charlie. He's writing letters to this mysterious person. We don't know who the person is. You don't know at the end of the book. It's just this mystery person. But he talks about his life, his feelings, everything that he's experiencing. Hopes, fears, depression, anxiety, the whole 9 yards.
And some reasons that Charlie's really having a hard time with this participating, as he puts it, are his best friend committed suicide when he was in 8th grade. His Aunt Helen, who was the one person he felt like he could relate to in the world, died in a car accident. And then because of those two things, he has all sorts of issues. Depression issues, anxiety issues. He's just a mess. He's a hot mess.
He's a hot damn mess. One of the things that he really loves throughout the story is he loves to read, and he loves music.
Yeah.
He reads a shit ton of books that Bill, his teacher, recommends for him, and he eventually uses that as, like, almost a therapy.
Sing me to sleep, sing me to sleep. I'm tired and I want to go to bed. Sing me to sleep, sing me to sleep.
So by the end of the book, Charlie discovers that, you know, yes, shitty things have happened to him in his past, things that he can't control, things that really nobody can control, but that doesn't mean the rest of his life is going to be bad. And he really sums it up when he says, but even if we don't have the power to choose where we come from, we can still choose where we go from there. We can still do things, and we can try to feel okay about
them. Similar themes. The biggest one that we've already talked about is this idea that of coming of age, discovering oneself. But within that, and it's kind of a larger part, is this idea of existentialism.
You said it right.
Holy
it
shit,
took
I
like
said
10
it
takes. 10 takes.
And existentialism.
Twice in a row.
Yes. The idea behind it is that each individual is responsible for giving meaning to their own lives, and not just living their own lives passively, but actually engaging in their life and living it with passion and authentically.
They're basically saying, you know, religion / happiness, it can't be taught. It has to be something that's it's an experience.
Right.
Like, and it's individual for each person. It, you know, it has to do with your family, your friends, your life. It's a complete unique experience.
Right. And learning how to do that.
It's not the same for any two people. You have to figure it out on your own. If you'd like to continue with us,
please follow us on Twitter. And we're also going to start a discussion on Twitter using the hashtag Chapbooks. We're going to post some discussion questions. We'd like, if you guys want to respond, you can respond to them or post your own and we'll respond. Let us know some things you'd like to see us talk about on our next show.
Yeah, we're up for ideas. Theme throughout the year.
Yeah.
Let us know.
Again, that's at Yield Chapbooks. Hashtag Chapbooks. But until then, keep on
reading on. Cheers.